Thanks for coming in, Mr. Mahoney. Do you have your member ID card?
Yep, I have it right here in the FEP Blue app, see?
Great.
It's awesome. The app can also help me find a provider and keep tabs on my deductibles.
Okay, can I...
Oh, yeah, and my out-of-pocket spending and visit limits, and I can call the nurse line.
I'm really glad it does all that, but I only need to see your member ID card.
Oh, that's it? Why didn't you say so?
Fearless is just one tap away. With the new FEP Blue app from Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you can access your health benefits on the go. Download it now at fepblue.org/app.
Hi, I'm Stunning Stella Cheeks.
And I'm the Enigma Erin Klein.
And this is
Not Your Demographic,
a feminist wrestling podcast.
Shockingly, those exist. Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
I'm good. Tired. I just feel tired all the time because it's very cold outside.
It is very cold. Cold and dark and miserable.
It's so cold and dark. And it gets dark.
I mean, it's only been cold for like 2 days. It was really nice for a while.
It was like 64 the other day, and then it's the wind. It really is. It's
the wind has picked up. Windy City. Jokes, jokes, jokes.
This is the time of year where I turn into the biggest asshole because I'm like, that's not why it's called the Windy City.
Everyone knows that that's not why it's called the Windy City, but when you're walking downtown and you get smacked in the face with a gust of wind, it feels like that's why it's called the Windy City.
I know. That's why I'm so I'm irritated at the wind, because wind is also proven to make people more angry, because who would have guessed wind fucking sucks? And so it's that combination of like, I'm a pendant and also... I'm also pissed about this wind. Yeah, it was so strong the other day that it blew the glasses off my face. And I was like, this is the fucking worst. I hate this.
That's funny.
So I'm tired from battling that. But other than that, good. We had the Plan 9 show on Friday. Since last time we recorded. That was an experience.
Well, it was unbookable.
Yeah.
For a reason.
It was a great show. It was really fun, and it was interesting to see like new people react to it.
Also watch somebody put a statue of Jesus covered in blood up their butt.
Yeah. It was weird. That was shocking, but that eggs act was somehow more shocking. More shocking than bloody Jesus up the bum. Like, it was just eggs. That's all it was.
Context, there's a performer who performs with us frequently. Her name is Rosemary Maybe. She is a hyper queen. She did an act inspired by Jonathan Waters where she eats a bunch of eggs and pulls eggs out of places.
Yeah.
Use your imagination. That's probably where the egg is being pulled out of.
Yeah. It was, It was great, though.
That's why I told you that one had to go last.
Yeah, I was I was talking to Rosemary about the act, and I was like, so what's your cleanup like? I want to make sure that we have enough, like, supplied to get it cleaned up quickly. And she was like, oh, I'm only using 3 eggs. There really shouldn't be that big of a mess. And I was like, oh, okay. I was thinking you were going to, like, fill the playpen with eggs and roll around in it. She was like, oh, no, I shouldn't be rolling around in the eggs. And then what does she do?
She didn't mean to, though.
She fell, yeah. And so it was
like, covered it beautifully. She, like, slid into it. She was like, I'm falling. I'm just going to slide into this.
It was so good. And as soon as she started rolling,
and kept going.
And as soon as she came off, she's like, yeah, I rolled in the eggs. And I was like, that's why I was like, we just didn't have the stuff to clean it up as fast as I was anticipating. And so I was,
but also
really
I was like, it's the end. Everyone will walk. It's fine.
Yeah.
We get that it's slippery. Everyone has been warned that the egg act is happening.
Yeah, it was, I fell twice trying to clean it up and was like, holy shit, my shoes are flats.
Well, you're going fast, where everybody else is walking on stage slow for a curtain call.
Yeah, so it was an experience for sure, but it was definitely fun. Your act was fun. I could see why no one will ever book it.
7 minutes. I've never tried, to be fair, I've never tried to get it booked. It's an act, it's a 7-minute long act of a recording talking, teaching me how to brew a cup of tea. It's like those old, like, goofy cartoons where he puts on a record, but the record is, like, kind of omniscient and, like, fucks with them the whole time. Like, that's the joke. But it is also 7 minutes of just purely talking and me just kind of making faces. And
it's then, really like, funny, though.
I take my clothes off and it's like, ugh. God save the queen. I've only ever done it twice now, and I will never do it again.
Yeah. The hardest thing was the props and trying to, like...
There's so many of them.
And fucking many.
I'm somebody who, like, I don't use props. I don't use props. I try and never have a setup.
Yeah.
If I use a prop, I bring it on.
Yeah.
Like, because I learned very early on, like, props are dumb.
Yeah.
They're fucking stupid. Like, they don't really usually add to anything unless it's, like, necessary. Like, for the Marty Skrull act, I obviously have an umbrella, but, like, I bring it on.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, for the tea act, like, I have to have, like, kettles and cups and
yeah.
spoons. 'Cause, like, it's
an
all...
active live kettle at one point.
Well, because it's all, like... It's all visual gags, because I'm not dancing. It's all, like, jokes and, like, spilling tea and, like...
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah, imagine me having to take all the regular Plan 9 stuff I have to take, and then all the tea stuff. Yeah. Like, I brought, like, 3 boxes to the theater. But it was a fun show, and it was a good show to go on, and our next show's not until February, so...
Yeah, we've got plenty of time.
Theoretically, I have to sign the contract, but, like, it's not until February.
Fair enough. How are you?
I'm good. I don't know, I feel kind of like limbo-y, like it's December, like I start grad school in January, it's like right before Christmas, I don't have a lot of shows going on purposefully, like, so I feel very like I'm not doing anything, but I'm simultaneously prepping for a bunch, so I feel very like bleh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
No, I totally
just
get
very
it.
Bleh. But I have some like surprise days coming off next week and the week after, so I have like plans to catch up on non-wrestling TV. I'm so behind on, like, Arrow and Flash and Riverdale, and, like, I just restarted...
Have you been watching Riverdale?
Fuck yeah, I've been watching from the beginning. It's so fucking good.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
I've never read an Archie comic because I don't...
loved them when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's not, like, why I read comics, and so I was like, Archie, like, whatever. But, like, I watch all the other CW trash that I was like, I'll just throw this in the mix, and then I ended up, like, actually very much liking it.
Yeah, I've heard
it's
really
And I know it has,
good.
like, nothing to do with Archie, really. It's just, like, the names.
Yeah, basically it's just, like, the structure that they're,
Right.
like, we built a gritty TV drama off of characters you love.
Fucking great.
I mean, I've heard really good things about it.
Cheryl is amazing. She is fucking so good. So good. And they're like young, hot teenagers that are like, and the actors, like the kids are actually like pretty good. It's not as like Vampire Diaries. Like they're like actually like pretty solid actors.
Yeah.
So I'm going to catch up on that whilst rhinestoning. I bought a bunch of rhinestones. I hate rhinestoning.
You hate rhinestoning.
I know I hate rhinestoning, but I'm just going to do it while watching TV.
That's fair.
So that feels nice that I have some like me days coming
that's
up.
good. That's
But yeah, I just feel
super
kind of
nice.
like, bleh, whatever. Christmas is coming.
Yeah.
It's happening. Mm-hmm. I'm working a lot.
Yeah. It's coming very quickly.
Yeah, I feel like I live my life now. Like, I'll be fine once this thing happens. But, like, that's, like, not great because, like, after that thing happens, there's another thing that you're like, I'll be fine once I get over this hump. That's like, is that what life is? Just
I think
getting
that's
over
what
humps?
adulting is, yeah.
Oh, terrible.
At least they're fun humps, I guess.
Fun humps. Hashtag fun humps. What wrestling not shirt are you wearing?
Well, I know you're looking at my Rosemary hat, but that's not what I'm
No,
wearing.
I also noticed that, but it's not a shirt.
No, I'm wearing my Shinsuke Nakamura pin because it's so fucking cold outside that I was like, I'm not changing. I have 2 layers of pants on right now, and this shirt has fleece on the inside, so I was like, I'm not going to change. So I put on a Shinsuke button.
And a Rosemary hat.
And a Rosemary hat. It's because my hair is disgusting.
You should wash it.
I went to the gym, so I will.
I also went to the gym.
Yeah, I weightlifted for the first time in like months, and now I'm very sore. I was shivering outside, and I was like, oh no, I worked the wrong muscles. I can like feel it right in my shoulders and like my collarbone, and I was like, this is the worst.
Yeah, I just did too much leg stuff.
Yeah, easy to do too much leg stuff.
Yeah, well, I did it like 2 days in a row, because like I didn't feel like lifting. I like kind of lifted, but I was like, I just want to do squats.
Fair.
Squats.
Squats are great.
Squats.
What wrestling shirt are you wearing?
I am simultaneously wearing my This Is My House Paige shirt and my Sasha Banks sweatpants. For obvious reasons.
Yeah, I have my Paige wallet with me.
You always
on the
have your
table.
Paige
Yeah,
wallet.
I know. That's the thing is I don't have any Paige stuff that I don't use every day. I have my wallet, and then I have the koozie of hers that's my work one, and so I use both of them every day, but there's like no reason to be like, oh, also I brought this thing with me. Like, oh, I also have my Brie-mode koozie.
Technically, my computer that we're recording on has a Brie-mode sticker on it, but I don't bring that up every day.
Well, true. That's true.
There's a lot of stickers on it.
That's equipment. That's different.
Yes, I'm wearing my Paige and Sasha duo outfit. Mm-hmm. I wore a Shakara shirt to work, and I worked out in it, and then I took a shower, and I was like, Paige and Sasha.
Yes.
Comfy clothes.
Excellent.
Should we talk about some news?
Yes.
News. Rise, which is that really awesome promotion that we've been talking about and gone to, that's like kind of affiliated with Shimmer. They did a taping and they announced that they're like in kind of like a feud with Stardom, which is fucking
awesome.
Dope. It's so fucking cool.
I'm so excited
about the whole thing. And also like on my kind of days off, like, because I've seen the Rise that we went to, and I think there's like 5 of them now, and I kind of just want to like watch all of them and be like, I'm a Rise completist.
Yeah, because we've seen 2 of the 5.
Yeah. Because they're awesome. Mm-hmm. So I love that, like, they're a pretty new promotion. Like, they think they started this year, and they're already like killing it.
Absolutely killing it. Everybody in it is great.
All those ladies.
It's so nice to see so many like awesome women.
And it's such a good mix of like pretty established indie women, but young up-and-comers, which is exactly what it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Like, it's great.
Yeah, Shimmer's been around long enough now that they just have, like, the best women in indie wrestling. Like, that's part of their thing, is that they, like, have all of these women who are established and that they draw in and of themselves. But Rise works because it's some of those same people, and then, like you were saying, it's a bunch of up-and-coming people, and so it's really exciting to see them all mixed together.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Super good. Their next show in Chicago is in April. It's like the week before I leave for my honeymoon. I'm going. It's April 13th.
Party.
My time off got approved this week. I was like, yes!
I can't believe you're still at that job.
They're gonna give me a month. Like, a full fucking month off. And I was like, great, awesome, bye.
Are they paying you for any of it?
No, I don't give a fuck either. Part of what we did for our wedding is we took an entire month's worth of rent, and that's just, we set it aside so that when we come back, we don't have to worry about the fact that we didn't work for a month.
Oh, that's smart.
Pay rent. Yeah, so that should balance out really well. Yeah, I was like, I don't even care if you guys don't pay me while I take vacation. Like, I get to leave for a month. It's gonna be fucking worth it, which will be very, very nice. So, yeah, like 2 weeks before that. Let's go to Rise!
We will go to Rise.
Yay!
Unsurprisingly, Michael Elgin is trash.
Michael Elgin is trash!
Who's the 2 now, bitch?
Maybe you should be more concerned about your real DMs than the shit you make up at shows, bitch!
I want, this is a PSA. My DMs do not have anything gross in them, but I do talk shit about every single one of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I'm not ashamed of it. Like, if they got leaked, I would be like, yeah, I said that. Like, there's reason. Like, if you really, truly search in your heart, like, you get what I'm saying is right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But there's no gross shit in my DMs.
Yeah, absolutely not. Why would you be that dumb? Honestly, whatever.
Well, I'm just, like, not gross.
Yeah, also. True.
On top of that, like, I'm not hiding my nefariousness. Like, I'm just not nefarious.
True. I guess if you're nefarious, you're like, you don't think about the fact that you're like a scumbag and you should be ashamed of the things in your DMs. I guess that, like, it's that like catch of like, if you're worried about it, that means that it's probably okay.
Yeah.
It's like Imposter Syndrome. Real imposters don't feel like they're imposters. And so if you're having imposter syndrome,
Can I tell you,
like,
I said that to somebody who is like, you all got that.
Everyone knows the face you just made.
Okay. Because they were talking about their imposter syndrome for, like, this new job, and I, like, said that. I was like, I read this quote on, like, Twitter, and it's, like, Twitter knowledge, but it's, like, for real. And they looked at me like I was the dumbest person in the world, and I was like, yeah, I forgot. I don't really like you. yeah, I forgot. I don't really like you. I should not talk to you.
Maybe they recognize themselves. Maybe they were like, I don't actually think I'm an imposter, and I
just said it out loud to relate to all these plebes.
Exactly, and then they were like, oh, shook.
Whatever, he sucks. He sucked from the beginning, but everybody was like, oh, he's just joking on that podcast. No, he's terrible.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Lied about so much and then continues to lie. And now everybody's like, you know what? Let's just replace him with Jeff Cobb. King of the Peen.
Yeah, King of the Pain, Jeff Cobb taking over all Mike Elgin shit.
On board with Kingpin.
Hell yeah, Kingpin.
Kingpin. It's a tongue twister. Kingpin. It's like a hard tongue twister.
Mm-hmm. You can use it to warm up for theater. You enunciate. I thought it was hilarious, even though it was really fucked up, that Elgin's like first thought was to be like, Jeff Cobb smells bad. Like,
Bitch,
first of all,
there's no way you smell good.
they refused to do his laundry at the dojo because he smelled so bad. He had to do his own, and he didn't. Like, it is a well-known fact that Big Mike smells bad. Like, so the fact...
like, bro, were you smelling yourself?
Yeah, so, like, the fact that he'd be like, Jeff Cobb, the cutest teddy bear human alive, smells bad.
With the biggest dick.
With the biggest fucking dick. You smell bad. Like, you need to check yourself, bro. Of all the things.
Don't come for Kingpin.
Ridiculous. So ridiculous.
I mean, I feel like every time we talk about anybody, we have to be, for now, as far as we know. Kevin Owens, still safe.
Oh, thank God.
Still safe.
Oh, thank God.
What a stressful 30 minutes.
For real. Oh, that was very stressful. I wonder what it was like for people who weren't online at all for that hour to, like, come back afterwards and be like, what the fuck just happened?
So stressful.
Oh, it was so stressful. Kevin Owens' Twitter his wife's Twitter got hacked.
And said that he cheated on her a bunch.
Which, it was weird because my first reaction was like...
Yeah, everyone was like, yeah, well, she's very hot and he's not.
Yeah, and, like, he travels a lot and, like... don't do that, but also, like... No. I texted Michael when it like first broke and it seemed like it was really happening, and I was like, I feel bad that I'm glad he didn't sexually assault anyone, but also I feel bad for his wife. And then afterwards, I was like, I don't feel bad anymore.
Everyone was like, oh no, there's news about Kevin. Oh, he just cheated. I mean, it's bad, but like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. What a weird feeling.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but like, at least that, you know, he's not a terrible human. He just made like bad choices.
Right?
We can still technically like him and cheer for him.
But also, oh, yikes.
Yeah.
I was hanging out with Andrew a couple of days ago, and he was talking about what it's like to be on Twitter, and he's like, I see someone's name trending on Twitter, and for like just a split second, I'm like, I hope they're dead. And like, what a weird feeling to be like, please be dead, please don't have sexually assaulted anybody. And it feels
please
like...
Please be dead, please be dead.
Yeah,
please
right,
be
like,
dead.
ugh. 2016, we spent every moment looking at everyone's name on Twitter going, please don't be dead, please don't be dead, please don't be dead. And now we're like, okay, I guess please be dead? I know.
Or like be trending for a good reason.
Right? Any reason other than death or sexual assault. Great, awesome.
Charlotte's gonna be on that Psych movie.
Yeah, they keep saying it's starring Charlotte Flair, and I was like, what?
I liked Psych. I'll watch. And I like Charlotte. You know what? Every fucking week, not every week, but every time I see a Charlotte thing, like, outside of WWE, like, obviously, like, she's so solid in WWE, whatever. But, like, when I see her, like, interviews or, you know, Comic-Con things, I'm just like, you know what? Fucking yeah, Charlotte.
Yeah.
And I'm, like, excited about the fact that she got to do this thing. Yeah. I'm always excited. I know USA has, like, this partnership with WWE, but I'm always excited when WWE superstars are in TV or film that is non-WWE produced.
Yes, I completely agree.
Like, that feels nice. I mean, I know that there's a partnership, USA, WWE, Circle Jerk, whatever, but it does feel nice.
Yeah, I agree.
And we'll see if she's good.
Yeah.
She might be terrible, but she can't be, like, worse than Paige was.
And she can't be worse than, like, Ronda Rousey, for example.
Correct. Correct. They finally have WWE leggings, and they are disappointing.
They're really bad.
They're so busy.
They're so busy.
What is happening?
It's so, like, the only ones that feel really appropriately busy are the Bayley ones. Those look like her tights.
And the New Day ones.
Yeah, and the New Day ones. Those are appropriately busy as well. And, like, the Alexa ones make sense, but
too much. The Asuka ones are too much. The Finn ones are, like, not well designed. And the Becky ones aren't busy, but they're, like, not well designed.
No, they're not well designed. They're also a really weird color scheme, so it's
and I was
really
like,
difficult
is this what we think steampunk is? Because, like, this is not steampunk.
Yeah, it's very
also
strange.
The girl modeling them, I was like, what are we doing? You're fit and you're, like, attractive. Like, what are you doing with your body? Stop tugging at your shirt.
The Finn Balor one where she's, like, holding her butt and sticking her arm out. I was like, what is happening? Have you ever worn pants before? Like, what is happening here?
It's not how we model. Whose daughter are you?
Right?
Whose wife are you? Why are you here?
And, like, the Seth Rollins ones are so busy on the outside and then completely blank on the inside. Like, you look like you're wearing chaps. It makes no sense at all.
It's that Braun Strowman look.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. I was telling someone earlier today, it almost feels like the people who designed these leggings have only seen the merch that these people have and have never actually seen what their wrestling gear looks like.
For sure.
Which is not good. Is not a great way to... If you're gonna sell these as, like, wrestler gear inspired leggings, they should look more like their
also,
gear.
like, fuck you for not having Naomi or Sasha.
Yeah, what the fuck? Why wasn't Sasha part of this? Sasha, one of the easiest people to put on there.
You gonna deny me Brie mode leggings?
Yeah,
how dare you?
Just make them fucking red with a black racer stripe. Boom, Brie leggings.
Put Brie mode on my butt.
Exactly. That's all you need. This is so easy.
That's all I want. Brie mode right on my butt.
Yes.
Don Callis is going to be a part of the 3-person power team at the top of Impact, and everybody's freaking out because he's still technically the commentator, the American commentator for New Japan, and everyone's like, is there going to be team-ups or whatever? So that's happening.
Weird.
Also, there's rumors that Laurel Van Ness asked for her release. Chelsea Green asked for her release.
She did ask for her release. Her contract was up and she didn't sign a new one.
So, bye.
I know something that has to do with her storyline, and it's very confusing. TNA made a very bizarre decision after she asked for her release. It's weird. I don't want to spoil it because I know that you
watch it.
Yeah, you watch in real time,
spoilers.
But it's like the only TNA spoiler that I know, and I'm like, why the fuck did they do that? It's very bizarre.
They make bad choices.
They make really fucking bad choices. So we'll see what happens with her. Also, James Storm got released. Because his, well, the reason that it's telling is because he had like a big money contract, and they didn't want to re-sign them, and the 2 next biggest underneath of him are Bobby Lashley and EC3, so they're probably going to get released as well.
Bobby will be fine, and I feel like
EC3 will go straight to NXT and be like,
to be honest,
hi.
I mean, if you lose Laura Van Ness and EC3, like, what? I mean, I guess they still have Trevor, and they'll have Rosemary and Sienna, but, like, that's really cutting out, like, half of why I watch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love him.
I get Pop TV now. It's on YouTube TV, so I get that station. So I set a DVR for it, so I'm going to try to start watching it.
I mean, fast forward through a lot.
Oh, for sure. But at least the women's stuff, I'd like to be able to watch that
the women's stuff. Watch the Eli segments. Watch the EC3 segments. Some of the X Division is good. It's just, like, the X Division has this, like, rotating door of people, so it's hard to be, like, invested. Yeah. So you just have to be, like, invested in Trevor, essentially, which is fine.
Yeah, I like him.
Which is fine. Watch Alberto El Patron fall off some stairs.
So funny.
It also did actually fuck up Johnny Mundo. His whole rib was, like, bleeding.
Jesus. What a fucking idiot.
Well, I mean, Alberto El Patron was also bleeding from his face. So, you know, he made some choices.
Again, that's what they do. They make choices.
He gave one of the craziest promos. It was, like, not crazy. It was just, like, not good. And it was, like, I mean, we all know that Alberto can speak English. But, like, the way that he was talking, it was, like, it made it sound, because he has an accent, obviously, but it made it sound like he didn't understand how to speak English. He was just saying random shit. And it was just like, what is happening? You have been on TV giving wrestling promos for a long time.
Is he, like, fucked up?
No, I think I don't think he was, but it honestly read like nervous. Like, I'm nervous to give this promo.
Weird.
That's how it read to me anyways. I was just like, what's happening? This is a mess.
Weird.
This is a goddamn mess.
205 Live is getting its own touring show.
Oh, yeah, but all on the East Coast. For now. Chicago love.
I mean, yeah. They're going to have to run it in a small theater, and they refuse to work with that Portage Theater anymore.
Well,
because it was awful.
Chicago is a huge city full of small theaters.
I know. I know that.
They want to give me a call, I'll give them 10 theaters.
Right, exactly.
I don't understand.
There are many, many places they could go.
Should fucking do it at the Metro. That would be so interesting.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Or Bottom Lounge. Like, they do stuff at Bottom Lounge. Like,
Yeah, that's where we saw that freelance show.
There's so many places.
Yeah, there's a ton of places they could do that. And, like, I love 205 Live. I would love to see some of those
205
guys.
205 Live is dope.
Yeah, like, I want to see Drew Gulak.
Seen
Fuck
every
yeah.
episode. Love that show.
It's so good. I also have a really weird piece of news. So, Ford, the car company, is suing John Cena for selling the 2017 Ford GT that they gave him for a sponsorship deal. He flipped it for $50.
Well, he signed a contract that said he wasn't supposed to sell it, and then he tried to sell it.
He signed a contract that said he was supposed to drive it for 2 of the 4-year contract, and he sold it, but he said that he sold it to pay bills, and he sold it for $50,000. What fucking bills? You're a goddamn millionaire. Like, what did you have to pay for that you had to sell this car and then get sued by this company? You had to know that was coming. Like, here's my wild speculation. Nowhere rooted in fact, only in my own speculation. I think John and Nikki are already married, and that what we're gonna see on Total Bellas is what they've done for Total Bellas. I think that because Nikki said a bunch of stuff that was weird, that was like, oh, we had to change the date of the wedding very suddenly, and our timeline is much shorter, and I have to get prepared for these, but I can't tell you when anything is, and we can't disclose this information. And then she started referring to him as hubby and herself as wife on social media. Like, there was clearly a change where that happened. So my wild speculation is they are already married, and that they're just planning this big wedding now, and that is what that money was for, is for that wedding that they had that was probably very small and involved very few people. Why the fuck else would you sell your car? Like, what are you doing? It's so bizarre. It's like a bunch of weird stuff that could all totally be coincidence.
Maybe he's really bad at investing his money. He talks big game and he's broke as fuck.
Maybe. I don't know. It's very strange. So it's like, it's also weird that he's like a really popular person for sponsorships and would also like do something to like jeopardize that, especially with a big company like
Maybe
Ford.
He just forgot.
I don't know.
He wasn't supposed to sell it.
Yeah, maybe he was like, oh, I had it for a year and I had a 2-year contract instead of, I needed it for 2 instead of 4. It's just very strange.
I think he just forgot.
It's very weird. But he apparently sold it to pay for some big ticket bill, so I don't know. Could be anything.
Weird.
Maybe Nikki got new breasts? I don't know. Didn't he pay for her boob job? Is that something that is real or like a thing that I've just conflated in my memory?
I have no idea.
I feel like he did. But
I don't really care about people's plastic surgeries, so I don't look into it. Like, if you want to do plastic surgery to your body, like, that's your prerogative and all that shit.
No, I just think it's interesting, like, he's into that look, and that's why I think he paid for it, because he was like, I want you to do this, and she's like, I want this, and he was like, I will pay for this.
I will pay for your titties. I will pay for them titties.
That's all I have for news. That's it.
Did you watch Total Divas? I'm finally caught up.
Which one was the? Which one was
this is the one where Lana yelled at everyone.
Yes, I did.
And Nia was like, I can't.
I am not the one.
And Carmella was like, even in this situation, I'm boring. I'm not coming back for the next season.
We're in my house and I don't know what to do.
Bitch, you are on a reality TV show and everyone is screaming, don't be the peacemaker. You're not gonna come back.
Nope.
Are you from Jersey or some shit?
Yeah, they clearly asked her to do this thinking like, you're some crazy Jersey bitch. And she's like, I really don't want to get in trouble.
Or Staten Island, or I don't understand the East Coast, to be honest.
Staten Island is New York. It's very different.
Yes, I legitimately don't understand the East Coast. It's like all one thing to me.
They're all very close together.
They're tiny and close and the same. That's what I got from that.
All right.
Lana walked around and was like, oh, you're going to criticize my wrestling? Well, you need to take an acting class. Because she's fucking... What did Natty say? Martin Scorsese, who is not an actor. Also, Mark Carrano hates Natalya.
Yeah, what the fuck?
From season 1 to now, every scene with Carrano and Natty, he's just like, I fucking hate you.
Yeah, it's really bizarre.
It feels like a very one-sided hate. Like, he just fucking hates Natty. It's really sad, actually.
Yeah, that thing where he's like, yeah, okay, great, Lana, have your match. And he's like, what the fuck is happening? He's like, yeah, bye, bitch, I don't have time for you.
He's like, figure it out on your own, Natty.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
He hates you. How insane was it that Miz and Maurice's house has been broken into so much?
What did she say? 3 times in the last 5 years?
That's a lot.
That's a fucking lot.
Also, her mom is the best.
You didn't know me then.
It's like, Mama Bella, or Mama Maurice, what would you have done with those men?
You murdered them. I think that was very clear.
I think she was like, I'm French. I will seduce them all. I got it. I was a hot 30-year-old.
I mean,
that's how I read it.
Yeah, I feel like she'd be like, you're in my house, are you? Here I am to seduce you. Knife in your heart.
I love that all of their fights are like, Maurice, you're doing this very crazy thing that you should have talked to me about. And then she's like, but we're going to make all this money. And he's like, I'm fine with it.
But in the end, we're going to make a huge profit, so fuck this house. I was like, I have never related to Ms. Moore in my life.
Fuck this house.
Michael and I were watching it together, and he was like, I would be so angry at you if you listed our house and didn't say anything. And so we were like talking through this, and then it got to that point, and I was like, see, it would be fine. Everything would be fine. I was like, do not take this as an example. It's like, but what if?
Also, like, Maurice and Miz are like realtors.
I know.
Like, actually know what they're doing.
That's what I was saying. I was like, she knows how to actually do this. So it's a little different than if I was to be like, I'm going to sell our house.
They're realtors.
I know. That's why they're going to get their own reality show, because they are very interesting people.
They're great. I will all day watch that show.
Absolutely. 1000%.
It was so nice to see Tessa. I was like, Tessa!
Yes, that was really nice.
Tessa! Also, Brie Bella gave all of her boob milk away, and it was very nice and sweet.
Mm-hmm. I was like, you were really stressing out about this 100 ounces. Like, that can't be good for you.
They're going to take whatever you give them.
Yeah,
and at the end, she was like, they took my 30 ounces. And I was like, yeah, of course they did.
Here, they're going to turn you away.
Like, you didn't meet the minimum, so get the fuck out. We're going to dump this on the ground.
Right?
These babies, 100 or more. Also, 100 is a lot.
It's so fucking much. Like, how much are you extra lactating?
No, that's too much.
I was thinking this when I was watching it. It kind of feels like that minimum is probably given to women who are still actively like lactating and are trying to wean their kid off of breast milk. So like at the end of the breast milk cycle, because if you just keep pumping, you can produce milk forever.
Well, also she like went to them and they were like, we're having this drive in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's unrealistic.
Yeah, exactly. So that I feel like that goal is good for people who are doing that kind of like weaning, and then I'll just do this until I get 100 ounces and then let myself dry out.
Ugh.
It's in your future.
Pump and dump. That's what you do when you get drunk, and then you can't give your kid breast milk, so you have to pump and then dump it down the sink. That's called to pump it down. That's real. That's real. That is real. So or if you're like taking antibiotics or something, like you can't give your kid that, but you have to get the breast milk out. So
otherwise you'll leak or you'll stop lactating.
You'll pump and dump.
Oh my god. I bet there is a non-zero number of men who are like, you just pump that out and put it in the fridge for me later.
Ew.
I can guarantee that is, again, a non-zero number. I don't think it's a shitload, but there are people who do it.
I've never tasted it. I'm sure it's fine.
I mean, they were talking about it on Total Bellas. Like, did you taste your own breast milk? Like, people do it.
Yeah, I mean...
It's fascinating.
I mean, if and when I'm doing it, I'm going to taste my own. I'm just, like, not going to taste the, like, woman who I nanny's breast milk. Like, that's fucking weird. That's like... I don't eat coffee creamer that much. I'm good. That would have been, like, my only opportunity to do it. Like, that's fucked up. The NXT show this week was just kind of a filler show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, the matches were good, but, like, whatever. I love how over the Street Profits are.
Everyone's like, love them. It was also interesting to hear Percy and Morrow as a two-person team, because Percy gets lost almost all the time. And so it was interesting to watch him, like, really try to elevate up to being, like, a number two in a two-person show. And listening to him get so hyped for the Street Profits was really nice. It was like, oh, when you're excited about stuff and they let you be yourself, you're actually pretty good at this. It's just that most of the time he gets completely buried by Morrow, the, like, human confetti cannon, and Nigel McGuinness, who is
has
very
been doing
good.
Commentary for a while because he was doing it at ROH.
Exactly. And so it's like these two really experienced commentators, and Percy, who's like really having to learn minute by minute, basically. So it was nice to see, like, oh, we checked in with you and you're doing pretty good. Like, when we need to move Nigel permanently off of the show, probably sooner than later, because he's going to be part of 205 Live permanently. And if they're touring, that is going to make that shit harder too. Mm-hmm. But like, good. Make him step up and do this. So it was that I thought was like one of the best parts of the show for me, was hearing that change in him.
Hot take. My feelings for Kyrie in WWE are waning.
Really? Already?
Yeah. It is so one note to me. And it is... I feel like every match...
They book all of her matches the same.
Every match is the same. And, like, I like the pirate gimmick, but I was always like, oh, I just know that she's very good. And, like, but, like, already in NXT, I'm just like, oh, man, there's no, like, freedom in it. It's the same thing. And, like, it feels like people are hot for you because they know who you are. But it feels kind of like how people pop for Nakamura right now. It's like, people are hot for you because they know who you are.
But you're not being used in a way
like,
that...
this sucks.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. It's weird because I like Kyrie. I feel like what we're really going to get from her is great takeover matches. That she's going to be one of those people that really needs an opponent to, like, that they can just let go and have a fucking...
But I think they can let Peyton go. I think that it's just, like, for these house shows, or I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. It's, like, in these, like, lower stakes matches, because they're not a pay-per-view, I feel like they're just, like, do your thing, people will cheer for you. So she needs that context of, like, the big stage in order to really perform within the context of what WWE wants her character to be.
I'm bored with it. I'm bored with it already. So Raw was fine. I just like it was so uneven because there were a couple like really really fucking high notes, and then there was just like, what is happening? Like, high note, that Paige and Sasha match was fucking
so good,
amazing. It felt so like good. Old school Sasha, and if it was like, you know, Paige isn't wrestling in over a year, like. It could have been a tragedy. Like, it could have been awful. And also, like, Paige has a tendency to sometimes, like, be a lazy wrestler. Yeah. And it was, like, primo Paige and primo Sasha, and they have great fucking chemistry in the ring. And, like, with the girls on the outside, it was just, like, they gave them enough time. It was, like,
they gave them so much time. It was so nice. They had, like,
after
3
that,
separate
like,
segments.
Boring-ass JJ and Roman match, like... And not even boring because, like, the wrestling was, quote, bad. It's just, like, it is boring. I just
don't understand. That's my big thing with that
to have, like, the pop of, like, Paige and Sasha and, like, not only the pop of who they are and, like, what they represent, but, like, to follow that up with this, like, fucking great match. Yeah. And a great match on a Raw, not on a pay-per-view.
Right, exactly. We were talking about that before we started recording, that it was nice that it didn't have to be a big pay-per-view match. It was just a really fucking good television match.
And that moved the storyline along.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, like, Sasha almost won that match, but then Absolution, shenanigans, and that's why Paige won.
And it was the right ending, too.
Totally.
Yeah. And we were also saying earlier that there were a bunch of times that it felt like it was gonna end, because WWE can have a very predictable style where it's like, oh, hard hit, flurry, everybody comes back at each other, and then the match is over. And that happened like 3 separate times in this match, and so it also made it seem like either person could win at any moment by the time they got to the end of it. It was like, you were so jazzed out on it that it was like, is this it? Is this actually the it? So it was just really, really good. I was very pleased with that.
Yeah, I watched it twice. Like, yeah.
It was so
I'm wearing
good.
a whole outfit based on it.
There was that sunset flip that was like that nasty bump that Sasha took.
Old school nasty Sasha bump.
Exactly. It was like, it was weird because it clearly was like, there was a slight miscommunication about when this flip was going to happen. And so Sasha went like flying because she wasn't fully supported. But
even like, I mean, even if there wasn't a slight miscommunication, sometimes Sasha is just like, fully committed.
Yeah. Well, I think that what she did is, because Paige fell a little sooner than I think Sasha was anticipating. So Paige like went to throw her, but by the time she did, Sasha was already like, oh fuck, you're down, I'm like going. And so it was like Paige like tapped her a little and Sasha went like flying. And so I think that's part of it, is that Sasha tried to overcompensate because she was like, oh shit, you're not gonna hit this, and Paige was like, oh fuck, I gotta hit this. And so then Sasha went crashing into the ground. But for that to be the only thing in
and also like
in Paige's first match in a year is excellent.
And also it's not even that huge of a botch, and also Sasha does have a tendency to like
do that kind of stuff.
Like overextend.
Right, exactly.
And she was fine.
Yeah, and she was fine. And it like happened in the middle of the match. It felt like it was gonna be the end of the match, and then to have that only be the middle was actually very satisfying.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was a great match.
So good. And then to have the Absolution come out after the Asuka Foxy match, which, like, I know it was short. It was obviously meant to be short, but, like, Foxy also looked good against Asuka until she didn't. Yeah. And, like, gave a crazy funny promo because Foxy's the best.
Foxy is, yeah.
And then to have Absolution come out and, like, still further set up the Paige Asuka thing, but to have Paige just, like, smiling at her, and, like, that's kind of Asuka's thing, so them to just, like, smile off and then to have Asuka walk away was great. And then,
she
like...
so annoyed, too.
Which is great.
So good.
That's excellent. And then that whole thing in the ring where Paige was just like, we're best friends. Like, everybody knows that Foxy and Paige are best friends. Like, Total Divas, real life, everyone knows that. But for Paige to be like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm not going to kick you, but they are.
Yeah.
Like,
they are not your friends.
that was a great storyline move.
Yeah.
And also, every woman on the Raw roster except for Dana Brooke was on TV.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Dana Brooke is the next step. She's the only one they haven't kicked the shit out of.
That's not true. Nia wasn't on. Oh, wait. She had that weird moment with Enzo.
I don't understand.
So technically, she was on TV.
Yeah.
But they are using all their women, most of their women.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is good. And they brought up more women. I want them to use them.
I also liked, Michael Cole and Alexa, their, like, little feud on commentary. Like, they've been having it for the past couple of weeks, and it's, like, works really well, actually.
I like it. I think that they're doing a good job. I love Alexa. I'm interested to see where, like, it almost feels like the title is, like, secondary to everything that's going on with the women right now. So it's a little weird.
All the main titles feel that way, I feel like.
Yeah, that's
the Women's
true.
Raw title, the Universal title, and the WWE title all feel secondary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas, like, the SmackDown title, women's title, still feels pretty relevant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Both tag teams feel relevant. And then, like, weirdly, the United States and the IC feel relevant.
Yeah.
But, like, the main belts, like, I don't know, fuck them.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like they relied on...
Even the Cruiserweight belt seems relevant.
It's because Enzo has it. Like, we didn't even
Drew
see
Gulak
it
is,
at
like,
all.
raising the bar.
I'm so excited to see how Hideo Itami fits in.
I called that Drew Gulak was going to win.
So excited. I'm so glad. I hope
Whoever
they just
the writers of
trust him to
205,
run.
well, whoever the writers of 205 Live are, they probably have it's like a little bit more hands off because if you watch 205 Live, it
Jimmy
is
Jacobs.
It is a fucking good show. Like there is great wrestling, obviously, but there's like good character development, and I think because of that, like Drew has been really getting over, and they do push the people who are getting over, and unlike other in main roster, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So like it makes sense that it would be Drew that got it, and. Like I said, I really thought that it was going to be Swan versus Zoe Train member because that creates tension and that creates a better story than just like Alexander versus Swan.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Mustafa Ali versus Rich Swann, but which I also would have enjoyed because Mustafa Ali also like deserves a title shot. He does fucking bomb ass wrestling every single week, and so like I think that could have worked in their favor to have done that kind of thing. But I do like that it's Drew, who's like the second in command of the Zoe Train, who like refuses.
How are you doing?
Refuses to answer whether he'll lay down for Enzo. I just love it. I love that he spelled soft correctly.
He always does.
So funny.
What's going on with Neville? Any news?
He's still under contract. He said that, or somebody said, I don't know if he said, that they're trying to work out a new contract for him or a new something and try to get him to come back.
Weird.
So I don't know. Maybe they'll sweeten the pot with something. Maybe they'll be like, we'll just get rid of Enzo, and then Hideo
just kill him.
Hideo can
And that'll
come
be
in,
Hideo and Neville.
and then you can come back and fight him. That would be great, actually.
Yeah, excellent. That works.
That works.
That works.
Stamp of approval.
Yeah, the whole show was like peppered with the Angle, Jason Jordan, Roman, Joe Shield thing that I'm just like, I love Samoa Joe, so I'm glad that he's in it, and he had great moments where he was like in the chair, and like that was great, but like it was just too much of that in the show, so it felt like that was like the anchor that was like weighing the boat down in like a not like good way.
It's weird because I feel like, is Jason Jordan turning heel?
He has to.
He has to be. But I also feel like I do not trust WWE to do this story correctly because they haven't been at all. And so it's weird to be like, I think, but I hate it. Also.
I think Jason Jordan is doing a good job.
Yes.
He is doing a really good job in ring, and I think he's doing a good job on the mic. That he's like walking a very fine line of like shitty and spoiled, but like a hard worker, and like especially with like Booker like hating on him on commentary, like it kind of is adding fuel to that fire. It's just like it feels like a dead in the water story because of who he's facing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we all know that Jason Jordan's not going to beat Roman for the Intercontinental belt. Although, like, the rumor is still that Roman's going to be facing Brock for the Universal title. But it makes sense
that, like, it would be, like, Joe to win that title.
Yeah, unless, like, Jason Jordan won on a fluke and then Joe took it from Jason. Like, if they had, like, a triple threat match and Jason somehow won on a lark and then Roman was like, LOL, bye, I'm just gonna go. I guess that
could be fine.
So, I feel like something like that could happen, but...
Except for that Roman was giving his Shield buddies a lot of shit about not having titles.
Yeah.
I love that, like, Roman is, like, essentially the reason, like, one of the main reasons that they didn't get their, like, title back.
Yeah.
I love that he, like, gave them shit, and then he was like, even him in the ring was like, oh, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I fucked up. Mm-hmm. And the bar was like, fuck you, we're still the title holders. And Joe was just like, I fucked you guys over.
Fuck you, Roman, and fuck your fake brothers.
So Finn wrestled Bo. I like Bo Dallas, and I think he's a good wrestler, and I think Curtis Axel is being very funny with his neck brace. And I actually thought that this match was okay, but it's also like, poor Finn.
I know.
But I guess if Miz comes back and, like, helps to re-elevate Finn in, like, a different way... But he's got to stop saying the words Balor Club.
Yeah. I just don't get it. He's a very good wrestler. He does really good in all the things that they ask him to do. I feel like he's being punished for the Bray Wyatt thing, even though...
It's not his fault.
Yeah, it was definitely not his fault.
Even though now Bray Wyatt has, like, a fucking boon because...
Yeah!
Broken Bray Wyatt versus Woken Matt Hardy is the best. For both of them.
For both of them.
And they both
did, like, a year coming, too.
Fucking excellent job.
That cut back and forth promo was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Immediately, I was like... Woken, canon, got it, I'm in. It was like, he said exactly what he needed to get the people who were like, fuck Woken, like, totally on board with it.
I was on board from day one. I was like, it's Matt Hardy, he can do no wrong.
He can do no wrong. But it was nice to have him be like, before I was broken, and that's why I took over this vessel, and I had to keep it inside of this vessel, and now I've awoken the deities again. Like, I love that idea. I think it's so smart.
They had a good Twitter exchange where Matt Hardy said, the hashtag Great War is the oldest battle known to mankind, the war that has been waged for eternity, light versus dark. We must fight as in... I can't say this word out loud. I can say it in my head. Ow, I'm going to rechange it. We must fight as tireless paladins. Hashtag Woken Warriors. Then Bray Wyatt had a really good comeback where he said, I created war. I've seen the world through 1,000 eyes. I am the fallen and cannot die. If you are who you say you are, run. That's great!
I love it. Good for them. Good for them.
Indefatigable? Is that how you say it?
I have no idea.
It's a word. It's a big word. I, like, know what it means. But it's like one of those words that you read and you're like, yeah, I get it. But like,
never have to say this
never
out loud.
Have to say it out loud.
Yeah.
And then you're like recording a podcast and you're like, ugh.
Can't say this $5 word.
Word out loud. That was great.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. Watching Bray Wyatt click his teeth on WWE television. Everything I wanted.
All I want is for Rebby Hardy to come with her piano with babies stuck to her.
I'm so excited. I can't wait for Senior Benjamin. I can't wait for King Maxwell.
Maybe Senior Benjamin can get a fucking paycheck.
That's what I'm saying. He'll get paid for the first fucking time.
It's her dad. 2-5 Live was great because it was like essentially all like Drew Gulak. It was like it was Drewtopia. Like Drew Gulak had his promo, but while using the Enzo mic, which was hard for him, he was like, "This is hard to talk into." Yeah. PowerPoint. Cedric came out. He was supposed to fight Drew, but he had delegated it to Noam. Noam and Cedric had a very good match, and then when Noam tried to go up to the top rope, fucking Drew Gulak flipped a nut, which is perfect. Like,
it was so funny.
It was so good, and then Noam obviously lost. It was just so, like, Drew...
He's so consistent in his character.
So is Noam, though, too. And, like, and so is Cedric. Like having those three go back and forth, like, it was great.
Yeah, it was really
There were, like, good, like, face exchanges from Cedric to, like, Drew Gulak on commentary. Also, Drew Gulak was doing a great, like, politician-y thing where, like, he would get asked a question by Nigel or Vic, and he would just redirect the question, and it was fucking hilarious.
He was doing a great job.
It was so funny.
Also, the Cruiserweight match on Raw, there was a fucking incredible springboard Spanish fly. I thought that match was great because that felt seamless. It didn't feel like, oh, here's this perfect move in the middle of this, like, weird scramble match. Like, there was so much setting up around it that it was like, oh, they're just fucking great wrestlers. And it was really great to see. And they did the same thing as the Paige and Sasha match, where there were several times where it felt like it was going to end, and then you got this, like, rally afterward. Anyway, back to 205 Live.
Brian Kendrick and Grand Metalik had a match. Grand Metalik is back. I still, like, he can do as many cool moves in the world. I just don't give a fuck. Like, don't care about this guy.
He's fine. I always wish that it was, I'm totally blanking on his name now, the other luchador.
Lince Dorado.
Yes, I kept wanting to say Sin Cara, and I was like, that is not his name.
The problem is like we were saying, 205 Live is actually a very good, well thought out show with a lot of character development, and a lot of stories, and a lot of build, and good matches. So, when you throw just Grand Metalik in every once in a while, it's like,
Yeah, why are you here?
Why are you here? Like, use somebody else. I do love what they're doing with Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher, and, like, commentary really putting it over, like, Brian Kendrick is a former champion. Like, he's not getting any of the opportunities that the other former champions are getting, and this and that. And, like, that's really smart. Also, like, Jack Gallagher's fucking, like, British gentleman brawler look is just perfect.
It's so funny.
But, like, I just don't give a shit about Grand Metalik at all.
Yeah, he's fine. Whatever.
You can do the most amazing moves in the ring, and I don't care.
Right? Like, he does that thing where he jumps from one side of the turnbuckle to the other on the ropes, and I'm like, this is so cool, but I have no investment in you.
Also, like, I've seen it a lot. Like, I know that...
Yeah.
I know it's still hard, but, like, I've also seen it a bunch, so I, like, don't care.
Also, I would rather see Tozawa. Like, where the fuck is Tozawa?
Yeah, I mean, he had, like, some segment with, like, the good guys where he was, like, laughing, but, like, that's it. Like,
I would rather see him wrestle. Yeah, so...
It would work way better.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a very funny backstage segment with Drew Gulak and Noam and Tony Nese and Arya Daivari where he was comparing them to the Justice League, and he called Arya Daivari Wonder Woman, and he got so offended, and he was like, no, you're Wonder Woman because you're a fierce warrior and you're a good dresser. And everyone was like,
you have an excellent fashion sense, which I thought it was like such a particular compliment. And also to follow up with, don't interrupt me again. It's like, oh.
Yeah. And Daivari didn't even he was like, fine.
Yeah, it was nice. And I like how the other two were like ready to make fun of him, and then we're like, oh, that was actually like a great answer.
Then the main event was Rich Swann versus Tony Nese.
Drew Gulak back on the outside.
So was
making that fucking money.
Making that money. He was there the whole fucking show.
Absolutely. Excellent. Good for him.
Also, it was a great match.
He's the best.
I am mad that you co-opted Drew Boo because it was like my thing.
I know, and then your Drew Boo got injured like 2 seconds after you started calling him my Drew Boo, so I can't even take credit for that. So, sorry.
My thing. My Drew Boo is on the shelf, so you can't say Drew Boo because then it's just like hurting my feelings every time you say it.
Sorry.
It's just mean.
He'll get better.
It's just mean. This was a good match. Good setup. Whatever. Next week on Raw, we get Swann versus Drew Gulak, and it will be very interesting to see what happens, because I actually have no idea.
Yeah. I hope Gulak wins.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants Drew Gulak to win.
Like, I don't need Rich Swann to be the champion again, and if I see him up against Enzo, I'm gonna be, I don't care. I don't care who wins. Like, I don't like Enzo, and I don't like him as champion, but also give the belt to someone who actually needs it.
Yeah, but Rich Swann was a good champion.
Yeah, he was a good champion, but there are so many other people, like, give it to Cedric, give it to Ali, give it to Drew Gulak. Like, they don't need to give it to him right away again. And it also kind of makes it seem like he's the only one that they should consider for stuff. Like, for a while it was hot potatoing between him and TJP, who exists somewhere, I still assume.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't know what's going on with him, and the Brian Kendrick, and it was like, they had this belt for a super long time, and so they, like, christened the division in this hot potato, and so I just really want to see other people win.
Yeah.
And, like, even though Rich was great at it, I need more time between his next title run.
That's fair. I mean, it has only been a year.
Yeah.
So, it has only been a year.
Yeah, exactly.
And there have been, like, a lot of title changes. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think it could set up for good stories either way. SmackDown. Live. Sami and Kevin are pissed.
So pissed.
Well, Shane's being a real tool.
Yeah,
And Daniel Bryan is going through a lot.
Daniel Bryan's about to turn on Shane.
Well, I think Shane is going to turn heel. Like, full heel. And then, like, because Sami and Kevin are bad guys, but, like, the crowd does love them. So if Shane turned full heel and then, like, Daniel Bryan had to, like, defend Kevin and Sami, and, like, I feel like it could be a whole mess and be good. Because, like, McMahons are better when they're bad.
Yeah, I agree with that, but people love Shane for some reason, too. Even when and especially when he's a dick, too.
Yeah, but if he's being a dick to Daniel Bryan, who are they going to side with?
Yeah, true. I don't know. Daniel Bryan's face at the end of the episode, I was like, you're going to hit that man with a chair. Like, he looked like he was ready to turn on him right then.
I love that he was like, I'm going to handcuff you to the ring, Kevin. Kevin was like, I'm not an animal.
I love Sami Zayn being like, we're not circus animals. Circus animals shouldn't be treated like that either, actually.
I'm a bad guy, but I make really good points. Also, how incredible that Rusev and Aiden English are just over as fuck.
Over as fuck. I love it. Did you see that?
SmackDown tag division is fucking great.
I love it, too, because they throw so many other fucking singles wrestlers together into tag teams. Like, put these two together. You're doing jack shit with Rusev.
Yeah, well, we got Rusev and Aiden English, and the Usos, and New Day, and then Shelton and Gable that are going to wrestle like a 4-way at Clash of Champions. But then you have fucking Ascension and Fashion Police. I know that they weren't on this week, but they're off doing their own thing. Like, they have, like, a great group of tag teams. And yeah, Bludgeon Brothers are there, but, like, we don't worry about the Hype Bros anymore because they're in their feud. When Mojo gave, like, a very intense promo where he basically was like, Zack Ryder is worthless. Yeah, which is setting up for a great feud. Because, like, Zack Ryder gave a similar but, like, babyface promo on, like, WWEexclusive.com or whatever. So, Internet like, that will be a good feud, I think, for both of them.
Yeah,
but, like, the fucking tag division, and the thing about the tag division on SmackDown is not only do they deliver these funny promos, good bits, but, like, all of those teams are also very good in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a really good point, too, that, like, all of the tag teams are
and not
good
just
at promos.
Good.
Are excellent. Most of them are excellent at doing promos.
Well, I know, but not just good in the ring is what I was going to say, but, like, because, like, the Bars are great in the ring, and Shield is great in the ring, but, like, they're good in the ring where they're, like, not only good at wrestling, but they're, like, moving shit around along and, like, facilitating the storylines on SmackDown, where it's, like, I feel like every time the Bar and the Shield get in the ring, it's just, like, dicking around. Even when they're doing even when they're doing some more, like, innovative moves and stuff, it's just like, oh, here's an innovative move in the middle of a match I've seen 1,000 times. Whereas, like, I could watch the New Day and the Usos wrestle until I die. Yeah.
I feel like with the Shield and the Bar, all of their storyline stuff gets done in interviews and in promos.
Right. I feel like that's Raw's problem.
Yeah, and so then they get in the ring and then they just have a match and then they have their promos, and so it feels like that all the time with the Shield versus the Bar. Whereas with the New Day and the Usos, they're constantly telling a story in ring and they're constantly trying to, like, bring the feud into it. Like when they had the cage match and they pinned the Uso with the kendo sticks. Like, that's an in-match move that really built on that storyline that doesn't feel like what we ever get from the tag teams on Raw, and especially from Shield and Bar. Like, the most interesting thing that the Bar did was that time that Cesaro fake tagged out and then won the championship off of it, but it was so confusing that no one knew what the fuck was going on, and then they were like, don't do that anymore. You can't do that in ring. Do it all outside. People need to be very clear about what's happening. Like, let them do more. Let them do fucking way more. Put Cesaro on SmackDown.
Well, I like the Bar together.
I know.
But it's just like I think Raw has that problem. Because, like, even if you think about Jason Jordan and Roman Reigns and all that stuff, like, their pre-match stuff was good. Yeah. And it's not that their match was bad. It was just, it felt stale.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. Because this New Day fucking Rusev Aiden English match was fun.
Yeah, it was.
And those giant pancakes were hilarious.
They were. Yes, they were. And also, fucking, I was not expecting Rusev and Aiden English to win. Like, they felt like such a throwaway part of this show for so long that the fact that they even had this match was like, oh, awesome.
Won against the New Day, not just a win. Like, Bludgeon Brothers won against their jobber pals, but, like, Rusev Day won against the New Day.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is, like, a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And that means that they have confidence in them, too. And I think that Rusev is a very good wrestler, and especially for his size.
English.
Well, yeah, but I was gonna say Rusev is a very good wrestler, and Aiden is particularly good on the mic too. And so when you have two guys who are really good at wrestling and one guy who can really fucking lead on mic, like, yeah, throw them in this division. It makes total sense.
Totally.
And I'm so glad the New Day too they're so good and so established that like just a loss puts a team over. It's awesome.
I also enjoyed all the stuff that they did with the women. I know there was only one match, and it was Tamina versus Charlotte, which I thought was actually a fine match. But I liked the backstage segment with Daniel Bryan and the welcoming committee and the Riott Squad and, like, all the shit with Natty being like, I'm friends with everyone, please get my bag.
Yeah.
And having it being turned into a lumberjack match. I really liked that. But I particularly liked all the promos that happened after the Tamina-Charlotte match where, like, Natty had her promo at, saying, like, Charlotte, like, you better get used to being the queen now before I take you out. And then Ruby coming out and being like, hi, I'm sorry, we're also here. I also like that everybody in the Riott Squad talks. Because, like, Ruby is clearly the leader. Like, it's her music. It's called the Riott Squad. But it does seem like more like it is a partnership.
Yeah, more so than Absolution.
Whereas Absolution is, like, Paige is the leader. These are her henchmen. Whereas this feels like they're all kind of on the same level, which is a way to differentiate the teams.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And to not have them, like, wrestling as much right now and being more, like, thrown... Like, Paige and Absolution right now seem like they're fucking with the division from the outside a little bit. And, like, yeah, Paige and Sasha had a match. But, like, it feels more like, to me, that the Riott Squad is in the division already.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Whereas Paige is like, I'm here to fuck it up. And the Riott Squad is also here to fuck it up. But they're already, like, a part of the division.
Right.
Like, they're already a part of the Lumberjacks. And they're already coming out and cutting off promos and doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I, again, shouldn't have done this weird copy and paste, but it does seem like they are doing a little bit different stuff.
They're trying to, like, differentiate more now, which is good.
So I did enjoy that. And I love that Tamina and Sarah Logan were just like, yeah, we're the bruises. We're just going to punch each other in the face.
I did like that
we're
as
not
well,
even,
too.
And I like that
I liked that it was Tamina, too, who was like, I'm not going to fucking wait for you to fuck me up. I'm going to hit you as hard as I can.
I also like that it didn't devolve into everyone just fighting.
Yeah,
it was just these two, and then they had to get pulled apart, and they were like, well, we'll see you on the outside. And then commentary was basically like, who even knows what's going to happen during this lumberjack match? Because there's going to be a match in the ring, but, like, also what is going to happen on the outside? Because tensions are so fucking high right now.
Right.
Which, like, made the stakes a lot higher, which I liked.
I really enjoyed that.
What do you feel about Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode?
I could not care any less about this. Why is Dolph Ziggler in this match? I don't understand.
Because they were like, oh, we haven't put Dolph in anything anytime.
He complained on the radio recently. We should put him on.
I do think that he was right, though.
I'm really torn about it, because I understand, from his point of view, he's absolutely right. But I think he's wrong about the role WWE views him in, and that's the essential problem. Like, he's like, WWE views me as someone who brings people up to championship status. I don't think that's the case. I think that they view him as someone who is an excellent mid-carder who gets people ready to go up and, like, be part of a bigger picture. I don't think he's the elevator. I think that he's the first step on the escalator that takes you to the elevator.
But I think his argument was that he, at one point, was the elevator, because he absolutely was, and now because he loses so much, he's the step on the elevator, escalator,
yes,
whatever.
But again, I think that he's taking his own personal responsibility out of that. Like, the fact that he gives an interview where he complains about his spot in the company every 4 months is a huge part of why they don't put him in this role. And when he says over and over, he just gave an interview like a day ago that he was like, gotta make some decisions about whether I really love this or not, because I know that they I actually wrote this quote down because I was like, yeah, someone definitely said this to you. Wink! I'm sure! He basically inferred that people call him the Shawn Michaels, and I was like, that's a fucking lie. That can't possibly be true. Actually,
he did wear that camo hat.
Well, yeah, I'm actually not going to look up because it's pretty long, but he implied that people are like, you're our go-to guy, you're our Shawn Michaels, you're the one who makes people better, and like, that's not your role, that's not how they view your role. Like, if you think that's how they view your role, you're very wrong. Like, I can see how you would be frustrated if you think you're the Shawn Michaels and you're being held back, but, like, you're not. And you give all of these shoot promos, which hurt your reputation and make them less willing to book you when you constantly threaten to quit. So, like, I agree. From his point of view, he's absolutely right. But
He's going to win that title.
I don't think so. I think Bobby Roode is going to win that title.
I think Dolph Ziggler's going to win that title.
I don't know. Especially after giving an interview where he's like, I might be done. Like, he said his contract is up very shortly. So that also makes me think that he's not going to win it.
I feel like he's going to win this title.
I hope it's Bobby Roode.
Yeah, I mean, everybody would love for it to be Bobby Roode. I just feel like it's going to be Dolph Ziggler.
I hope, honestly, what happens is that Dolph Ziggler is just completely irrelevant to the ending of the match. Like, have Bobby pin fucking Baron. That would be the best ending. That this feud that they've had that has this person thrown into it really does come down to the two of them. I think it's a better ending.
Yeah, I didn't think he's going to win this belt.
Ugh, yuck.
The tough thing for me right now is that I love Sami and Kevin, and I think what they're doing is great, and I do like this feud with Shane, but, like, why is Randy Orton going to be involved?
Yeah.
I just fucking hate Randy Orton.
Right? Like,
whatever, their match was fine. There was a lot of fun shenanigans. Sami and Kevin sold it really well.
The rope was great.
And then, like, getting the bolt cutters out. And Sami has, like, such, like, a expressive face as, like, a villain. It's so great. And, like, but Nakamura came out and saved Randy. And
they're
now
definitely
they're
going to be tag team partners.
But I mean, like, I guess, like, good that we could see Nakamura. But, like, Sami and Kevin deserve better than Randy Orton.
It's weird that... You know, actually, I think that the role that Dolph Ziggler views for himself is the role Randy Orton actually has. But
except for that Randy wins too much.
And Randy's fucking boring. Like,
Dolph loses too much. Randy wins too much.
Randy wins too much. Dolph loses too much. But, like, Dolph has a better personality and character than Randy is.
Yeah,
and so, like,
he has
if you could
a
just...
personality and a character.
If you could just, like, exchange those things, like, it would be the perfect setup for both of them.
It was super... like, evil Disney villainy of Shane McMahon to be like, and if they lose, they're fired. They don't even know that. Right. But that is a rule.
Not just fired from SmackDown.
Fired from the whole
WWE. Oh, you are a cartoon villain, aren't you? Weird.
Yeah, he's got to be turning into a bad guy.
I hope so.
Whatever. To me, Raw had really good moments, but Raw just always feels uneven, where SmackDown feels like a way more even show.
Yeah. It's because it's not as fucking long. It's nice to not have to sit for 3 hours and 45 minutes of that 3 hours is promos.
So many promos. So many promos.
It was kind of nice, though, after like an hour and a half, there had only been 2 matches, but one of those matches was the women's match.
And it was a fucking great match.
Yeah, so it was like, oh, okay. I kind of like when you run less stories on the show overall.
Yeah, that is good, and they should keep doing that.
And so I liked that, but it was also like... We've only seen very little over this time, and then we saw a bunch of recaps of all that shit later. It's just bizarre.
So I asked for a bunch of questions.
We got a shitload of questions this week.
Let's start off with an easy one. This one is from T3H Rog. Why is CN so goddamn attractive?
I don't know. Something about those Lucha Boys. They put those masks on and they're like, no one will ever know. It's like Dr. Wagner Jr. He took his mask off and I was like, oh. What? Excuse me? So I feel like it's the same thing with Cien. Like, he took his mask off and everyone was like, oh, my eyes! You're beautiful!
Importantly, he took the hat off. That helped.
True. When he had the mask, the hat was fine.
When you have the hat, and then everybody sees you with the hat, everybody has a perception of who and what you are, and then if you lose the hat, everyone's like, oh, you're very attractive.
Yeah, he's very good looking. Also has a very expressive face, which is nice.
We had 2 questions kind of about the same thing. This one is from Joe Crack. Does the Sarah Logan gimmick feel even more 80s glow to you? Because for me, it feels even worse now than it did for the Mae Young Classic. It feels very... I don't know how it feels, because this one is also from our friend Bobby. How long before they make Sarah Logan go full Trump supporter do you think she sometimes looks at her hockey mask in wistful remembrance?
I think Bobby really nailed it. It feels like it is always on the verge of getting gross and political at, like, any second to me.
Really? I don't feel that.
Oh, I definitely do. I
don't feel that at all, actually. I feel that she is the Southern character, but she's not actually Southern. She's from Indiana, which is fine.
Yeah.
it just feels like I don't dislike the Southern character, and I obviously really like her as a performer. I think she's a great performer. It feels like she hasn't figured out what type of Southern she is yet.
Absolutely.
And it is a mix of this, like, Kentucky backwoods, you know, homegirl, I don't know Southern words, but also a mix of, like, these, like, Southern Belle type
she's
things.
using, like, a Southern Belle accent, and it is really distracting to me. Like, I need you to pull back on Georgia and turn into Kentucky, because, like, this is such a disconnect.
She's got a great look.
Yeah, her look is strong. Like,
the idea behind it is strong, and she as a wrestler is very strong. And it's not even that she's bad at promos, it's that
I wish everyone could see the look on my face, because she was bad on Monday.
But she
just doesn't have confidence in her character.
It's not that the promo is bad, it's that she can't deliver it in the accent.
Yes.
She can't deliver it in that way. So she needs to figure that out. I don't think so. Like, I think that is what makes it feel like this 80s gimmick character, but I don't think it's a fundamentally bad character.
No, I think
it just needs to be.
I think with time she can really make
she got
this
pulled
grow.
up
exactly
too soon. Like, she didn't, as a wrestler, she didn't get pulled up too soon. She's a great wrestler.
Right.
As this specific character that hasn't had any time to develop, she got pulled up too soon.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think that you really nailed it with the accent too. It's just such a disconnect, and she clearly
can't throw a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs in the middle. Like, I'm sorry, that is a deep, like, Georgia Belle thing. That is not a Kentucky saying.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you either need to commit to being Georgia, or you need to commit to this other very different part of the country.
Very different part of the country, but also she's specifically, like, saying, like, oh, my daddy used to take us out hunting. My
papa used to say.
Right, but we are this, like, woodsy Southern. Not, I don't know, fancy colloquial Southern.
Right? Serve some lemonade on a porch on the middle of the day. Like, that's what her accent says, but her words are like, I skinned deer alive. Like, it just doesn't work together. It's very strange. I think with time it will get better, but part of it is that she needs the time and space to get better, but she's so far behind, like Ruby, for instance, who's excellent on the mic all the time.
Because what she's doing, even though she's a bad guy, that is the character that she was doing. Exactly. So she's had literally years to
And Liv is the same way. Like, Liv is now playing a bad guy version of this character, but has had a lot of time to, like, work on her voice, which has gotten better. Yeah, and Sarah just has had no time to do that.
Because it's a very different character.
It is so different from Crazy Mary Thompson, this character that she, like, really blossomed.
I know that she can do it.
Oh, yeah.
She just needs time.
Yeah, and part of it with the women, too, is that...
And she needs better writers.
Exactly, I was just gonna say, like, she's new to this set of writers who don't know her, and she doesn't know this character, and so she can't advocate for herself in the way that some people need to when they have a character like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna take push and pull from all sides to, like, get this character up there. But, like you were saying, I feel like she's a good part of this team, and so, overall, it works as part of the Riott Squad.
Yeah. This is a question from Greg Yuppie. If you had the women's division book for the next month and your assignment was get Absolution and Riott Squad over, but you can't do the same thing, what would you do? I think Absolution is over because by default of it being Paige's thing and the fact that they are the bruisers and they're not equals to Paige. Like, so long as this faction is there and Paige is the leader, it was like Team Bella, like, Foxy was over because she was with Team Bella.
Right, yeah.
Like, I think Absolution is fine. If you want to talk about, like, if and when they break up, how to get Sonya and Mandy over on their own, that's totally different.
Yeah, it's a whole different story.
I think, like we said earlier, the difference needs to be Paige is the leader. These are her friends that are, like, these are her bodyguards. And Riott Squad has to be like, we are a triumvirate. We do this shit together.
Right, exactly.
We walk out to Ruby's music, but... We do it together. And it needs to be like, every match can't be Ruby wrestling. It has to be Liv wrestling or Sarah wrestling, or like, it has to be more of a team thing. And I think that will work.
I also feel like a good way to differentiate between those two is that while the Riott Squad are heels, they, like, Absolution cheats and Absolution attacks people at the end of matches. It doesn't seem like Riott Squad is going in that direction. Right. It seems like they're like, we're just better than you and we can just beat you. Whereas Absolution is much like, old school heel where like
they should definitely do that.
Yeah, you have to have the interference, and like Paige is such a like sniveling princess that she's like, LOL, doesn't matter, I got my win anyway. Where Ruby seems more like, I will beat you into submission because I deserve this win and not because I'm gonna cheat it out of you.
This is a question also about Riott Squad at Absolution. If you could swap out some of the NXT girls for who made the Absolution and Riott Squad, who would you? I genuinely think that Absolution is fine.
Yeah, I don't know who I would swap out for that, honestly. At first, it felt weird to have Sonya up there and Mandy, who we hadn't seen in forever, but it does seem like the right choices for Paige.
It's not that I would switch out girls in the Riott Squad. I mean, like I said last week, I wouldn't have pulled them up. I would have pulled the Iconic Duo up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It would have had a completely different vibe. You would have brought up heels, and you would have brought up people to mix it up. No matter what you do, it does feel like a weird copy and paste.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe for Riott Squad, I would swap out Sarah Logan for Bianca Belair, who I think could handle it on the mic.
Actually,
and would have been a really cool addition because she could have been the bruiser, but doesn't look identical to Sonya Deville. Not identical. They obviously look different enough, but like copy-paste identical.
Yeah.
Like that could have been one immediate visual cue. But I feel like they were worried about... Not that they were like, we're considering Belair, but I feel like if you're going to put her in there, then she's the biggest person on the roster immediately, because she's so fucking tall, so it would immediately be her and Charlotte against each other, and I don't think they would be willing to have the leader of the Riott Squad be shorter than her bruiser. Although, with a bruiser, maybe you can make that work, so, I don't know. I feel like that's the one switch I would have made, just so Sarah Logan can have more time to
develop that character.
Yeah, exactly. Like, other than that, like, Liv is fine. Liv's been down there forever, so it's fine. Send her up. Let her prance around with Tyler Bate in front of Enzo.
That's funny. This one is from KaiWai75. With Asuka and Paige in the mix, it's weird that there's nothing going on. Is it weird that there's nothing going on with the Raw Women's title? Feels just kind of there.
Yeah, we were kind of saying that earlier.
Yeah, I don't know if it feels... It feels weird because there are other big titles that are, like, on the back burner. But I think... because you're bringing Asuka and Paige up so back-to-back, like, they do kind of need to develop that, and it's clear one of them is going to be the next champion, so, like, they have to figure that shit out.
Yeah, I feel like they have to figure out, do we want Paige and or Asuka to take the belt?
Right.
And also, who's going to break Asuka's streak?
And we complain about there not being women's stories that are not revolving around the belt, and, like, Alexa's still there. She's still in commentary. Mm-hmm. Also, Alexa that belt was the focus of the whole division for forever.
Yeah. For so long that all they did was hot potato it. Whereas, like, you need to do something else with this.
So this feels okay to me.
Yeah.
Actually.
Mm-hmm. It does feel like it's kind of floating about, but that's a good point that we, like, have to figure out who the next contender is, really. And so it is nice to see, like, 3 separate storylines happening in the women's division right now.
Yeah.
Like, we briefly talked about Nia. I'm really interested to see what happens with that.
That's why I didn't even talk about it. I don't care. I hope that she, like, flirts with him and then, like, literally crushes him to death.
Well, I want her to crush him to death. I'm just worried what's going to happen is it's going to turn into, like, that one. This is the girl that I attracted. I'm just really worried that WWE is going to do some shitty bullshit with her. I
feel like Nia would be like, no.
Yeah, I would fucking hope so, that she also has enough clout now that she did walk out that one time.
Yeah,
so
I feel like Nia would be like,
that's true.
No.
That's a good point.
This one is from RamJam89. Who is going to be the next UK champion? Is Zelina Vega the best valet since Paul Heyman? How do you book Pentagon Dark for Lucha Underground Season 4? Those are 3 very different questions. Who is going to be the next UK champion? I bet that it's somebody who is not in that division, because they teased that with Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, that's true.
It would make sense if it was somebody like Aleister Black, who was just fuck you. I'm European.
I would love...
This is not my European title.
Right. I've decided. I would actually love that. I mean, that's sort of what we were talking about. If they brought that into NXT and it became like a secondary belt, that would be a good
I also
role for
know
him.
no spoilers for the number 1 contendership like thing.
Yeah, I don't either.
So that could have been like the most insane thing that I've ever said.
Yeah. Well, also, like, apparently...
Cassius Ohno, new UK champion.
Yes.
I'm fine with it.
I've heard, too, that NXT tapings, they've started to, like, film false matches so that people get fucked up on spoilers, which I think is hilarious and perfect. Like, you've been trying to combat spoilers for so long, like, duh, just record some extra shit and throw it in somewhere else. Who cares? Like, you can edit all of this. It doesn't matter.
But also, like, how do you do that? Because, like, people will still have seen all the matches. How is that a false ending?
Because they do the tapings over, like, 3 days. And so you get...
just mix them up?
Yeah, you just film some stuff earlier, some stuff... I mean, that's what fucking Lucha Underground does. Everybody thinks they know their spoilers, and then you look at the actual season, and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Zelina Vega is a great valet.
Yeah, I cannot think of a better one, to be honest. I mean, like, old school Russian Lana would rival Zelina Vega, because she was such a strong component to that team, but... Zelina Vega is just a strong-ass fucking character. And Zelina can fucking wrestle. Zelina, sorry. Can fucking wrestle.
Yeah.
In a way that Lana was never capable of. Like, that fucking Rana that she hit on Drew was awesome. And that
was great.
And that's something that Lana was never capable of doing as a manager. Like, she was always very much on the outside, and she existed very well in that. And I guess... they're both managers and they're not actually valets, so there's, like, an argument to be made about that. And the difference between, like, a Maurice and a... Maria, like, they serve very different roles, and so it's kind of hard to compare Zelina to one of them as a valet. So, but yes, she's the fucking best.
She's great. How do you book Pentagon Dark for Lucha Underground Season 2? Do the thing that you did with Mill where he has, like, a throne. Give Pentagon a throne.
Yes!
I don't know, give everybody a throne.
Yes.
But the temple should definitely reflect the champion. I feel like
I
when
agree.
Mill had the belt, like, the temple had, like, a dark vibe and atmosphere, and it should have, like,
and when
like, reflect.
Johnny and Worldwide Underground were the champion, it was always kind of chaotic, and, like, that's his thing, is he creates this chaos and then can take advantage of that. So, yeah, I think that's true, that they, like, reflected on that as well. Like, he didn't have a throne, but he had a posse that traveled with him, and he had this documentary that was... not in the wrestling space, but, like, really set the tone for that season, or that half of that season.
That's all I got, though, for him.
I don't know. I don't know who's on the show. Like, I don't know who's been signed. I don't know who's leaving, so it's kind of hard to say. I know that AR Fox and Penta can have fucking bananas-ass matches. I would love to watch them.
What impact, this is from Jetta Ray, what impact do you think the Me Too movement is having or will continue to have on professional wrestling? I don't think it's having a lot of impact on the professional wrestling world.
It's really bizarre because there's like pockets of indie wrestling where things are coming out and people are, like, starting to come forward about stuff like Michael Elgin things and
but at the same time you have fucking Jerry Lawler being like, women are trash, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's so weird.
It's weird that
like,
I can't say puppies on TV anymore. Can I have my check?
Yeah, it's weird too that, like, honestly, I feel like part of it is that I'm not exactly sure how to say this. One of the biggest challenges with sexual assault in general in this country is that there's a statute of limitations on these crimes. And so I feel like a big problem with wrestling is that a lot of this stuff happened a long time ago, and a lot of these women are like, it's just not worth it. Like, when it's happening with wrestlers who are traveling in and out of your town, like, I think that there's less of an incentive to pursue it. And also, like, there's literally no incentive now in some cases because you can get a libel suit brought against you because you can't take it to court.
There's also less incentive because if you speak out again, because think about how rabid we are in our fandoms. If there's always a fear that, like, if you speak out, you're going to be not welcome at these shows anymore. And that's, like, such a big part of people's lives. So I feel like people maybe are either afraid to say stuff or they just don't pursue it as hard. Like, oh, people know.
Yeah.
But
I think it's going to take, kind of like the Harvey Weinstein thing, I think it's going to take a bunch of women holding hands and jumping together. And that's the only way that it's really going to start to spread to wrestling. And it has to start with women making a decision to come forward. And I get why they don't want to. So it's hard.
Also it has to come... It shouldn't all be on the women because there are...
Well, yeah, it shouldn't be.
Plenty of people and promoters who know what type of people they're booking and do it anyways. Yeah. And it needs to be on them to, like, stop thinking about their bottom line in that way. Yeah, like, there's so many good indie wrestlers and wrestlers in general that, like WWE does not need Jerry Lawler anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
At all. Period. End of story. They don't need him at all in any way at all ever. They will not lose one fucking viewer if they fire him.
Yeah.
If they fire him in a big to-do, maybe they'll lose a viewer.
Yeah.
But and then that viewer's going to come back in a month because they didn't actually care. They're going to protest it for a month, and then they're going to realize that they didn't actually give a shit about Jerry Lawler, and they just want to see Kevin Owens do a pop-up powerbomb.
Exactly.
Like, they have nothing to lose from getting rid of him.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of promoters have to realize that, too. Like, you can get rid of this person, and people will still come to your shows because there are so many good wrestlers.
Exactly. I feel like people are so worried about creating a vacuum that they won't be able to fill, which is...
It's stupid.
So stupid. Like... Get rid of these trash monsters. You'll create audiences that, first of all, women spend more fucking money than men do. And create spaces that are safe for women to come to your shows, and they will buy that space up. Like, the money that you will lose from that asshole who's pissed that you let Michael Elgin go, like, 4 more women will feel better about coming to a show and will spend money there. Like, it's just so stupid that there's just this boys club mentality, like, it only has to be for these guys to feel comfortable.
I've only ever seen good things from him. Yeah, yes. But you know that he did other things.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I mean, my problem with Michael Elgin has been for a long time that he pissed on a woman without her permission. And so, like...
I thought it was funny to joke about it.
Yeah, and then thought it was hilarious to tell this story later, like it was no big deal, and that it was something to be praised about as a funny lark. Like, I've been on the fuck Michael Elgin train for a while since then.
Me too.
But, like, that's a... Like... Everyone knows that, so it's weird that alone, that sexual assault was not enough to keep him off. It was him, like, manipulating a woman who came out about her sexual assault from another wrestler, like, which is fucking bizarre.
That he, like, ran.
Yeah, which he said that he sold and then later was like, never mind, I didn't actually sell it. Like, he's fucking trash. He's just trash.
Yeah, he sucks. Ugh. This is from Henry T. Casey. If given the book and the budget, how do you book the Universal Championship and the IC Championship from now to Mania?
I don't know.
You know what? Let's just read his answers and call them ours. My answer, sign Matt Riddle, have him debut and win the Rumble and beat Lesnar at Mania. Have Roman and Joe wrestle a no contest at Raw 25 while Finn gains #1 contendership that night. Triple threat at the Rumble. Joe pins Finn. Rematch. Triple threat at Mania. The club help Finn cheat and pin Roman. Great. Those are great ideas.
Those are excellent
Let's
ideas.
Do those. Those are our ideas.
Excellent ideas.
They were a gift from you, Chess.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
This is from Ben. What are some of WWE Shop's biggest merch opportunities in your opinion? This question came about because I was just thinking that they should make Pete Dunne teddy bears. Literally everything that Naomi and Sasha wear.
Yeah.
Naomi had pants that said "Feel the Glow" all over them.
How do those not exist? They're so easy.
Billy and Payne are out here wearing the best shirts.
Yeah, where are the iconic shirts? I don't understand. I think that's a huge missed opportunity. I think not having more women's shirts available is a missed opportunity.
Women's cut shirts is what you're saying.
Women's cut shirts and women who are wrestlers, like, they... Unless you're Sasha or Bayley or not even Charlotte. Charlotte doesn't even have that much shit. Like,
you know how many people would buy a Drew Gulak button right now?
So fucking many. I will buy a 10-pack and give them to all of my friends. Like,
yeah.
I don't understand why they don't want to reach out to more non-traditional merchandise as well. Like, their shirts are better quality now, but they also cost more money. Like, give people other things to spend money on. Also, bring back clutch wallets. I have this old shitty Paige one that is gonna fall apart. Give me a Boss one.
Ridiculous.
It just makes no sense. Oh, it makes me so mad. But also, like, where are the UK guys' shirts? What? Like, teddy bears are a great idea. Why isn't there a Bayley bear? Why isn't there a Pete Dunne bear? Like,
there was a Bayley bear. Remember, there was a whole thing about
it. That's right. There were those Bayley bears.
She gave Bayley bears to people.
That's right. That's right. Right. Why aren't there more of them? It's just bizarre.
She ran out.
Make a Cassius Ohno teddy bear. He would be a great teddy bear, to be honest. Yeah, I just feel like there are a lot of things that they could do, and they just don't. Why do they have so many Christmas ornaments? I don't know. It's weird.
I like their Christmas ornaments. I have several on my tree.
I do too. I just think it's weird that it's like that's a thing they focus on every year instead of being like the rest of the year we can provide these other accessories. More hats. Why don't more people have hats? It's very strange that their hats are so limited and are run in like weird styles.
Yeah. Last one. This is from our friend Elle. Fuck, marry, kill, Riott Squad. I wish I had a better, smarter question, but this just isn't the week for that. I would marry Ruby.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Fuck Sarah, and I'd probably kill Liv.
I think I'd fuck Liv and kill Sarah.
I just feel like Liv is pretty annoying.
I feel like
she plays the ukulele, so I might kill her.
Well, I feel like she's just crazy enough to be really good in bed, so I'd be like...
Oh, you don't think crazy Mary Dobson, a.k.a. I Live in the Woods, Sarah Logan, would be good in bed?
I mean, I think she would be good in bed, but if she's Sarah Logan, that
then
means she
she'll
has
give you
that
some
accent, and I'm
deer
like...
meat, and you'd be like, great, let's eat this and do it again.
All right, that's fair. That's a good argument for her.
But, like, obviously, I'm just gonna marry... But Ruby has Disney tattoos.
That's fine. I can deal with that.
I really... Don't like Disney, maybe.
We can have separate lives.
That's true. Nick likes a bunch of shit that I hate. I was watching, which is the Trixie and Katya a YouTube show, and I've watched it here and there, but I've been like, I'm gonna watch it from the beginning. And there was one like episode where they had like question answers, and it was like, what's your favorite Disney movie? And Katya was like, none, I don't like Disney. And I was like, Katya, you're my new favorite drag queen. She was like, they're bad, I don't like them. And I was like, she gets it. She gets it.
You like some Disney movies. You like
I like
Moana.
Hocus Pocus and
Moana.
Moana. Those two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said some. I didn't say dozens.
Halloween Town is pretty good.
Halloween Town is excellent.
Debbie Reynolds rules.
Yes, she does. R.I.P. Debbie.
R.I.P. Debbie. All right, we're not going to talk about Halloween Town. It's the end of our podcast. We have a new rating.
Ooh, hey!
Not a new review, so I can't read it. But thanks for... See, you don't have to do a review. You don't have to take a million hours. You can just go, boop, little 5-star.
Yep.
That's all you need.
Super great.
That's all we need.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for all the questions, guys.
Yeah, it was nice to get some questions.
Well, sometimes you just have to ask.
Yeah, I feel
and
like...
then there's too many and you feel overwhelmed.
Well, I feel like 2 weeks ago we were like, we haven't gotten any in a while. And then didn't get any. We were like, what the hell, everyone? Where are our questions? And then this week they were like, we're here. We got it.
But I also... We didn't directly ask. We just complained about not having questions.
True.
But I directly was like, please send questions. And then people were like, we got you.
True.
We got you. I think those were all the questions. If I missed one, sorry. Twitter is hard. Mm-hmm. Twitter is hard, and I am sleepy.
Yeah.
You can find us on the internet. I'm at Stella_Cheeks.
I'm at EarnGenC.
You can find us on CageSideSeats.com. And you can find us on notyourdemographic.tumblr.com.
You can send us an email at notyourdemo@gmail.com.
And you should find us on iTunes, and you should rate, review, and subscribe, and then you should tweet at all your friends and share the love because you love this podcast, right?
Yes.
Don't
and you should be using the hashtag #NotYourDemoPod.
Not Your Demographic is not a helpful hashtag.
No, not at all.
All right, that's it.
Demis.
Yes! Yeah. That's what it is. I always give you shit for saying yeah. Yes? Demi's yeah? I don't know. This is Dem.
Look it up. I have it in my calendar.
Oh my goodness. I have it in my calendar.
I have it in my calendar. Whatever. You're taking physical notes in a notebook and you're making fun of me for having a calendar?
Well, my notes are for this podcast that we do because you don't take any notes.
I have notes this week. Thank you very much.
Oh, this week?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm just saying.
I take
my
news notes every week.
Keep this podcast rolling.
Well, duh.
So maybe don't criticize the notes.
Thanks for coming in, Mr. Mahoney. Do you have your member ID card?
Yep, I have it right here in the FEP Blue app, see?
Great.
It's awesome. The app can also help me find a provider and keep tabs on my deductibles.
Okay, can I...
Oh, yeah, and my out-of-pocket spending and visit limits, and I can call the nurse line.
I'm really glad it does all that, but I only need to see your member ID card.
Oh, that's it? Why didn't you say so?
Fearless is just one tap away. With the new FEP Blue app from Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you can access your health benefits on the go. Download it now at fepblue.org/app.
Thanks for coming in, Mr. Mahoney. Do you have your member ID card?
Yep, I have it right here in the FEP Blue app, see?
Great.
It's awesome. The app can also help me find a provider and keep tabs on my deductibles.
Okay, can I...
Oh, yeah, and my out-of-pocket spending and visit limits, and I can call the nurse line.
I'm really glad it does all that, but I only need to see your member ID card.
Oh, that's it? Why didn't you say so?
Fearless is just one tap away. With the new FEP Blue app from Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you can access your health benefits on the go. Download it now at fepblue.org/app.